It's a cloudy, cold, gusty day here in South Texas. Was a little bit spring-like yesterday. I'll talk about that in a minute. But hey, I got breath in my lungs. I'm out on the bike. Got about an hour and a half planned. Let's get it. Did a group ride last night with a bunch of the guys on the university cycling team. It was a good time, and temperatures were probably around 20, 22, about 70, 71, 72, somewhere around there. And overnight, they just tanked. We're back down around 10, and like I said, wind chills are feeling somewhere around 5 or 6, so not ideal. The other thing I was able to spend a little time doing this morning was messing with my headset here. As some of you probably seen, another video I have here on my channel is the build of this bike. And one of the things that I'll end up talking about in more of a long-term review at some point in the future is the dust cover for the headset, and if you don't use their integrated bars. So Elves, will sell their specific integrated bars for this bike. Nice setup, but you're kind of locked in so many ways with, stem length. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with the cheaper option and go for a traditional bar and stem combo. But had a few problems, and let me show you what's up. So I just stopped here to show you this. So what I have on the bike now is a little bit more of a generic dust cover. Really, I was having the problem with their original dust cover that they gave. I think they call it the HPK. It seemed to twist a little bit, and I had put enough torque on the headset, on the top cap bolt, and had enough spacers. Everything looked good, but I don't know if it had something to do with my brake cable, the integrated routing of the brake cable just kind of pushing this C-ring over a little bit, but I was having a little bit of trouble with this, just constantly moving. And no matter how much I torqued it down, no matter how much I tweaked it, of course I didn't want to put a ton of torque into it, but they sent me their specs and they said, okay, 5 Newton meters for the top cap, which to me, I've never tightened a top cap 5 Newton meters before. So I did it. It seemed to work for a little bit, but didn't seem to be steady or stable enough. It kept twisting a little bit. So I've replaced it with this. Looks a little bit more traditional, I suppose, that you'd see on a normal bike, and I'm fine with that. But we're gonna give this a try and run this for a little while to see if this works out. If you have an Elves and you've been encountering something similar with a kind of more traditional bar and stem combo, let me know. I'd be curious to know if this is just me and something specific to my setup or the way that I have it being routed here, maybe the cable or something like that, or if it's something that is more common to the Elves Falath. This is the 2022 Pro, as you've seen in the video that I'll just kind of link up one of these sides, and you can check that out. But back to my ride. Said it in the past, but one of the reasons why I'm really grateful for a power meter on days like today, especially when it's super windy, is that you can continue to hold just your consistent zone 2 power, even though you might only be going about 15 miles an hour. Makes it so much easier to gauge your effort and not feel like you're completely losing it and you have no fitness because you're just slogging away into a headwind. I think the other thing that's really helpful to have too in headwinds is just that mental stamina, that perseverance, knowing that you just gotta keep turning your leg over, just gotta keep pushing through. Look at all those grass puppies. Do they ever get cold, I wonder? So that word perseverance, I know it gets used a lot, maybe in certain theological circles. Perseverance of the saints is a common phrase. And I think we often take what we think perseverance is, just in our kind of Western context, and apply it to the words of Jesus. And here in the West, we've defined Christianity as kind of a set of beliefs or a set of principles, things that are true about Jesus, or things that he did or things that he said. And if we believe those things, then somehow we're a Christian. I don't know if that's the most helpful thing. I think one of the things we tend to do as Westerners is we often take our current circumstances, our current issues, our current, just life and the way things are working as kind of the way that it's going to be in the future. And then when we think of the word perseverance, we often think, okay, I just need to kind of keep doing what I'm doing and, things will be okay in the end. But that's not how Jesus and his disciples thought about perseverance, because Jesus taught that a day is coming when everything is going to change and there's going to be a test of their faith. And they needed strength and grace and the ability to persevere through that coming test. They actually believed that a time of trouble, a time of testing was coming for their faith. And when you think of testing, don't think trial, think evaluation, a time of evaluation. An evaluation of what for them? Was it an evaluation of their beliefs, just if they continued to believe that Jesus was God and, that he died for their sins and things like that? No, it was an evaluation of their faith and of their lifestyle, how they lived their life. And I think a lot of Christianity here in the West has been based off of creeds, just public statements of what you believe to be true. And it hasn't so much been built on a way of life, of sacrificing yourself and laying down your life in this age and not loving the things of this age and setting your hope fully on the day that Jesus comes to restore and renew and change everything. And unfortunately, it's just the case here in the West. And, instead of basing it on that, we just based it on beliefs. And the Lord knows that talk is cheap. And this is why he's ordained this test, this evaluation at the end of the age, that not merely our belief will be tested, but our loyalty from the heart, our loyalty to his teachings, to actually have a life that obeys what he taught. And this is what the circumstances of the end of the age are ultimately all about, to evaluate that. This is why things are going to get gnarly at the end of the age, because God wants to make sure that we do more than just kind of hear the sermon on Sunday morning and then don't give heed to anything that he taught come 5 or 6 o'clock Sunday night. And with this test that's coming, some people's faith is going to be proven to be genuine, and some people's faith is going to be proven to be not genuine. That's the whole point of this test, because the Lord knows that talk is cheap. We need a faith that lasts longer than the 4 or 5 hours after the sermon on a Sunday morning. We need faith and perseverance to endure until the end. So I'm going to talk about this much more in future videos, but I need to get home. It's getting cold, and I've got that headwind that I've got to slog into. I need perseverance. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.